Dios mío. Dios mío.
¡Yay! ¡Yay!
Happy face. Yay! Yay! Thank you. Yay! Baby T-T-T-T-T-Rex, baby T-T-T-T-T-Rex, baby T-T-T-T-T-Rex, T-Rex, roar!
Mommy T-T-T-T-T-Rex, Mommy T-T-T-T-T-Rex, Mommy T-T-T-T-T-Rex, T-Rex, roar!
Daddy T-T-T-T-T-Rex, Daddy T-T-T-T-T-Rex, Daddy T-T-T-T-T-Rex, T-Rex, roar!
Grandma T-T-T-T-T-Rex, Grandma T-T-T-T-T-Rex, Grandma T-T-T-T-T-Rex, T-Rex, roar!
Grandpa T-T-T-T-Rex, Grandpa T-T-T-T-Rex, Grandpa T-T-T-T-Rex, T-Rex, roar!
Let's go hunt T-T-T-T-Rex, let's go hunt T-T-T-T-Rex, let's go hunt T-T-T-T-Rex, let's go hunt! Run away T-T-T-T-Rex, run away T-T-T-T-Rex, run away T-T-T-T-Rex, T-Rex, ah! Save that last T-T-T-T-Rex, save that last T-T-T-T-Rex, save that last T-T-T-T-Rex, T-Rex! It's the T-T-T-T-Rex, it's the T-T-T-T-Rex, it's the T-T-T-T-Rex, T-Rex! Yay! Hi. Hi. Maybe.
Woo!
Thank you. You're welcome. Ooh. Hello. Hi, everybody. No. Yay!
Happy face.
Mama? Yes. Papapacho. Papapacho. Oh my Jesus Christ in the sky! Papapacho. Yay! Aww. Bear hug! Aww.
Lacey and Yuna, why aren't you guys at your bunks or at pizza? Taylor.
I guess I better drag these two upstairs also. I guess. Well, we can't be really telling everybody else they have to go upstairs if you guys are down here with me. I can go set off 402 or something. Yeah.
Disculpe.
Pizza's maxed out on boards. I don't think they can play anymore. Come on, Katie. I'm gonna pick you up too, but I don't have your HUD information. I know. I know. Okay, hold on. Let me find an empty dome and I'll res out 402. Let me find my hood on because I'm the worst counselor ever.
across the void beyond the mind, the empty space that circles time, I see where others stumble blind to seek a truth they never find. Eternal wisdom is my guide. I am the Doctor. Through cosmic waste the TARDIS flies to taste the secret source of life. A presence science can't deny exists within, outside, behind the latitude of human minds. I am the Doctor. My voyage dissects the course of time. Who knows, you say, but are you right? Who searches deep to find the light that glows so darkly in the night? Toward that point, I guide my fleet. As fingers move to end mankind, metallic teeth begin their grind. With sword of truth, I turn to fight the satanic power. Is your faith before your mind? Know me. Am I the Doctor?
Bring you greetings from all Daleks.
I'm gonna spend the Christmas with a Dalek and hug him underneath the mistletoe. And if he's very nice, I'll feed him sugar spice and hang a Christmas stocking from his big left toe. And when we both get up on Christmas morning, I'll kiss him on his chrome-inflated head and take him in to say hi to Mom and frighten Daddy out of his bed. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Happy Christmas!
Happy Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
To you.
I wish to be your friend. Please may I have some more plum pudding and custard?
I'm gonna spend my Christmas with a Dalek, and if I make him happy, he will stay to go and twiddle his eyes, and then my little Dalek will say, Merry Christmas,
Christmas
Happy
tree,
Christmas,
mistletoe,
Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas.
to you.
Sorry.
Merry Christmas,
I love you,
Happy Christmas,
you love me.
Merry Christmas
Merry
to
Christmas.
you. Merry Christmas,
More plum
Happy
pudding,
Christmas,
more custard.
Merry Christmas.
I bring yo, greetings.
Hey! Hey! Sissy over there. I see you. Hi, Sissy.
Sorry.
No, it wasn't the garage. I think he was coming from outside.
Wow. Hi, everybody. Mr. Lucas. I know. Miss Kendall. Kelly. Hi. Thank you. What? No. tea.
Niche is going to be on voice for Zelm. So whatever Zelm needs to say to you guys, she will be saying it on voice. And after the 30-minute questions and answers, we have a... Zelm, should I tell them the surprise or wait till we're done? Maybe we'll wait until... Okay, we'll tell them. Alright, after the 30-minute questions and answers, you guys are going to be able to play Prim Wars against the Lindens. So, campers versus Lindens in a game of Prim Wars. So, without further ado, let me get out of the way, and let's give the stage over to Kira and...
Oh my Jesus Christ in the sky! Oh my gosh.
Alrighty, well thanks for having us here. Let's get some questions rolling in here. I'm ready to go.
Yay!
Hey everybody.
And remember, I am your questions to Zelm.
Zelm says, please IM him any questions, silly or official.
Alright, I think the first question we have is, how many Linden bears are there to collect? I actually don't know the actual count. If I were to try to take a wild guess, I would think somewhere around 350 to 400. What do you think, Kara?
That's about where I was thinking. I was north of 300 somewhere, for sure.
Yeah. So when I think about touring around, Bear Island, all the current Lindens on board that have bears and stuff. That's kind of where my mind goes. All right. Next question we have is, when are we going to be able to change our legacy names? Soon. It's coming.
TM.
Right. So yeah, pretty soon. That project's in the works. Allowing people to change their Second Life names and stuff. So it was part of, if you remember, a blog post going out Bear Island, all the current Lindens on board that we were working on. That was one of the items that was on the list for this year. So we're working away on it in the background. So soon. Oh, next question is, what is your favorite food? Kira, you go first.
Oh my gosh. Sushi's my favorite. I've got a real hankering for it right now, so we may end up with that for dinner. But yeah, I love sushi. I especially love eating it in front of Patch, because he really loves it.
High five! No below the boat. No below the boat. Pizza! Pizza. Who can deny pizza? And I mean like a real pizza with just pepperoni on it. Because like pizza with pineapple and ham and banana and stuff like that on it is just, that's not pizza, that's disgusting. Yes, I just heard that there is this thing going around about banana pizza, and that's just like, no, that's not pizza.
Yeah, no, that's wrong. No bananas on pizza. Unless it's like one of those fruit dessert pizzas, but then that's not even pizza crust.
Zelm says he's getting a lot of IMs, so please keep in mind that he can't reply, but he is seeing them, okay?
All right, next question. What motivated the creator of Second Life to make Second Life? Well, so going back in history, there was not really a true single creator of Second Life. There was Philip Rosedale, the founder of Linden Lab. I mean, if you were to point a finger really at the creator, it's kind of him. But there was a small team of a few people very close to one another, and Philip was one of those folks who were kind of the original founders behind the company and stuff like that. And originally, Second Life didn't start out as the Second Life we know it today, and really not even necessarily as a virtual world. I don't know. How many of you can throw your hands up in the air and say you've heard of something called the rig? Anybody know what the rig is?
I did, but I don't think I can.
Yes. Right, so the rig was actually kind of a physics demonstrator machine that was put together by Philip and the couple of people who initially started the company to actually do like a virtual battle bot type simulation game. It was a physics-based challenge, and it was really actually more about the physics engine behind the game itself than it was about the virtual world aspect of it. And then that transformed itself over time into what then slowly became behind the neck world, with giving people creative spaces and upload and license and content, etc. and so forth. History marches on from there, and we know where we're. Oh, I think it's about the best I can answer that question. Next question is, what is, I guess, your favorite part about working for Linden Lab? Kara, you go first.
Sorry, I was muted. This right here is my favorite part of it. Getting out and hanging out with y'all. Seeing what you do with the platform, what you make, what events you have, that kind of stuff. That's my favorite. There's all the dreary drudgery of making stuff work, but this is where the fun is.
For me, it's very much the community. I've been a resident as well for a very long time. Second Life is very near and dear to my heart for all of the same reasons that Kira just shared. And shopping. Who can deny shopping?
Definitely shopping.
Right? But yeah, basically, being a part of the community, being involved in the community as much as I have been, being able to help you guys as residents and stuff like that, be in this wonderful thing that we called Second Life, is really what I'm passionate about with Second Life, and it's you guys, right? That's my favorite part of working for Linden Lab, is being able to be here for you. Next question is, why the sudden increase in the Linden purchasing fee, and do you expect it to go up any higher? It's a great question. As Ebe has been talking about for many years, really, actually, since he came on, and because I've been very close to this conversation as well, he's been looking for ways to try to help rebalance the economy, right? And Second Life is a very large, complex economy, primarily land-based, as I'm sure many of you all are very familiar. And one of the things that he has repeatedly said is that land costs too much, right? It costs too much to actually have spaces in Second Life. So he's always been deeply concerned about what that looks like for the long term and in the future. So we look at little places where we can maybe tweak some stuff and maybe make some little adjustments on fees here and there that then give us things like the flexibility to do stuff like decrease mainland costs, give you double the amount of free tier with your premium account, lower private island prices. The things that we just all recently did were all part of that kind of strategy of making little tweaks and adjustments to a couple of the fees on the various things that we have for service charges that allow us to actually make some pretty deep cuts in other areas. So, as far as like industry standards and stuff like that are concerned, this is, kind of a fairly normal thing. Having a land-based economy is not. We're of course being very cognizant and careful of how we do this. We want to do this right, so it's going very slowly. But as Ebe even said himself and stuff very recently in the past, like at SL15B, there will probably be some additional adjustments to come. I don't think there will be anything else in the very near term for the Linden Dollar purchasing fee to go up, but I would probably think that we might look at some other areas consider. All right, next question. Back when Second Life started, did I ever think after 15 years in this virtual world, for one, it would still be here or grown as far as it has? And what are some of the things that you have been amazed by that people have created? Kira, you want to take a stab at that one first?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I was attracted to actually working for Linden Lab, is because I saw a lot of potential in Second Life and knew that if the community was there, it was going to be something that lasted a very, very, very long time. As far as what I've been amazed at that people have created, I don't know, it seems like every time I log in, there's something new I find. I really like going to all the different fairs that go on in World, and seeing all the new products that people are making, new ways to use objects, new games that people make in World. I don't know, it's pretty cool stuff. I guess the most amazed that I've gotten is over experiences and being able to create in-world experiences and help like different games and role-play communities and stuff like that when it came to experiences.
Well, in the industry is 15 years old, right? That's amazing for a product of our type. I'm very, very, very glad and thankful for it to this day that, it is what it is. And I know that for myself, being in the position that I'm in, I've got a very long roadmap for Second Life. It's, 5, 6, 7 years out still. I look at Second Life itself and where we're at today and look at the things that we're doing to continue to make improvements constantly. And I see another 15 years ahead of us, at least. So I do think that, we're going to continue to see Second Life kind of evolve and grow as time goes on. The things that I'm pretty amazed by that people have been creating really kind of comes down to some of the really highly detailed level, kind of content and stuff like that comes in. That's really kind of cool to look at. Some of the art installations and stuff, the Linden Endowments of the Arts, they've got some really, really neat installations over there. A lot of the stuff that went into SL15B, fantastic to walk around and look at. So it never ceases to amaze me, kind of like to Kira's point, to go into Second Life every day, and I always find something new, something that amazes me. And even still today, being that I've been a Linden now for 11 years, I still learn something new every day somewhere. It's probably the best part of the job. Another one of the best parts of the job for me. It's constantly every day. All right. Next question. Where do babies come from? Kira, this one's all you.
So I've had 3 of them. That's why he's lobbing it over to me. So, prim babies or real babies? Because I know where to shop for some prim babies.
I'd totally go with the prim baby option.
Real baby? It's all chemistry.
I know where prim babies come from. Is everybody ready for another history lesson in Second Life?
Wait, can we just make a suggestion? Why don't let's ban prim talking fetuses? Just throwing my suggestion there to the window.
Oh, wait a minute. I have a HUD that does that.
No, not.
I really like that HUD. It's not coming out.
Yeah, the evil tummy talker would probably be it. So who knows the region called Anwar? ANWR. Anybody? It's the birthplace of all prims on the grid. It's where the prim drilling rig lives. So that's where all prim babies are really born from. We mine them and pull them up out of the ground and stuff. It's kind of a very complex process, so that we don't squish them or anything like that on the way up. But yeah, go check it out sometime. If you've never been there, it's actually one of the oldest regions on the grid, and that's where all the prims are brought up out of the ocean from. All right, next question. Where is Bear Island? Well, so Bear Island is actually an installation that we have brought back over the years, and traditionally with, like, Second Life Birthday. And we only bring it back every so often. Like, I don't remember when the last time was before SL15B that we brought it back. I think it was maybe 10. So, it is there. It's down. We could bring it up at any particular time we want to, if we decide that we have a special occasion we want to show it off for. I don't know, who would be interested in seeing it?
I don't think
I think a lot of people want to see it.
Oh my god.
Y'all are still running through tomorrow, right? Huh. Stay tuned for something special. We'll see what we can do.
No, I'm not gonna be here on Saturday.
Oh, who said it has to be Saturday?
I'm working this entire weekend.
Could be as soon as we're done here, if I don't get stuck in meetings all day. I also saw some confusion go by on the region name. It's ANWR. Anwar.
Yay! Yay!
Yep. All right.
They're boring.
Bear with us. Haha, see what I did there?
Get
And we'll see what we can do about Bear Island. Maybe say the only concern I have about really fast is it may not show up on the map, so it could be very hard to find. But I'll work with Zelm when we're done here to see if we can put something together for you all. So just stay tuned.
Zelm says yay.
No. He needs more to do because he's grounded. He has nothing else to do. All right, next question. I think it's amazing that you are supporting the kid community. Since there's still a lot of prejudice in the wider community against child AVs, would you ever consider having a child AV be a Linden to help overcome that prejudice? We have considered it before, and we don't necessarily have anything against it. The reality is, in my experience, having been here as long as I have, no child labor, is, finding, of course, the right candidate for the position that we're hiring for, and everything else doesn't matter to us, right? I'm trying to think, Kira. Through all the people that we have in support, have we ever had a youngling work for us?
I don't think anybody's...
Wasn't Marianne McCann a mentor working closely with Perez? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we obviously can't talk about any, particular situations or anything like that, but if, like I said, if somebody were to, be an obvious candidate and choice for a position with the lab, and I can tell you even for my team, I would know, without any hesitation, bring the best person on for the position, regardless of, whether or not they were doing the little AV thing or not. I don't have any issue with that, and even Ebe himself has said, but clearly we want to be as supportive as we can to the community, and just because there is sometimes that one thing that happens out there cause issues, that's certainly not indicative of what the entire community. I wouldn't be standing here if that were the case, and you wouldn't have these regions, and I'm also actively trying to get involved with that, and also make sure that people see that that is not the case. Next question.
Thank you.
Are there any plans to increase the group cap? And why is there a cap in the first place? So I can talk about this for a long time. But the TLDR is that, okay, the most hazardous thing that happens in Second Life is every time you move from region to region. Most importantly, that's when you cross a region border from one to another, but also teleporting. Because what happens is you as an avatar and all of your assets and your inventory and everything glued to your body, your groups, your IMs, all of that stuff gets very quickly packaged up, shot over to the next simulator, and then re-downloaded by the region, and then unzipped, basically, literally, like this is gzip going on in the background for those of you who know this works. And then basically put back into live action for you to use.
Yeah.
Well, groups being as complex as they are, and I'm sure folks who have very, very large groups or have ever been in very, very large groups know about some of the hazards of them, and sometimes we've had some struggles with like group chats working successfully and stuff like that. It's all because of that going on in the background. So every time you move around and go from region to region, stuff like that, we have to like package it up, send it over, bring it back down, and so we have to kind of limit, and groups are particularly sensitive to just how many there are being transported with your avatar, and all of that agent presence data that's going on in those groups is all kind of like done in real time every time you do that. So if you could imagine if you're in a group that has 100 people online currently active, and you've got 50 of those things attached to your avatar as you move from one to the other, well, every time you move from region to region, the miracle that makes Second Life work, don't try to look under the sheets there, it's very bad, makes all of that happen as seamlessly as possible and as miraculously as well as it does. So we're very kind of careful when we decide to do things like we have raised the group limits. Yes, there is a cap, but it's for a very good reason. I can tell you that we are looking at raising them some more. Because we're always wanting to try to push the limits, and we're always trying to look for ways to give people what they want and make things better. We're tinkering kind of with the number 75, but don't take me to the bank on that. We tried 100, and I can tell you it went pretty badly. And the last thing we want to do is to try to go too far or stretch the system too far without making other improvements in other areas to try to help make it better. And then we cause people with like 100K inventories to get zapped and lose all of their stuff because it didn't get packaged up and moved over when you crossed the region border. So, little things like that. Next question. When are we moving to cloud servers, and will that allow for faster loading? It's still too early to tell. The move to the cloud, and I'm doing air quotes, you can't see them, is happening now. Stuff is moving. We've had various pieces of the backbone services and various, internal things going over. Bits and pieces of inventory servers have actually already started to move over. I'm proud to say that you haven't seen any of this or any difference in anything because, well, it's been going pretty good. So, stuff like that's been happening quietly in the background, and the quieter it happens in the background and less noticeable to you all, that means we're doing a pretty good job with it, in my opinion. I'm sure we're going to probably hit some bumps in the road at some point, because technically complex, like I was just describing, Second Life can be, but it's going. More and more of it's moving over, and I think the ultimate right, will be is the day that we can come out and say all of like the simulators that run the regions are living on like, you know, Amazon or something like that. That'll be really cool.
Miss Latte. Miss Latte. Miss Latte.
Oh, and as far as for faster loading, because that was kind of a little bit of a question too.
Miss Latte.
It may help because what we can do is we can get more geographically diverse. You know, a lot of like, you know, the various cloud companies, you know, Amazon of course being kind of, you know, they have very geographically diverse hosting centers, and yeah, I suppose at some point we will look at, you know, like could we have like a bank of EU simulators, and you know, people maybe pick and choose that's where their regions run because it's better for them, maybe.
Miss Latte.
Yes. Okay, last question now before Prim Wars. We may look into getting more questions answered later if we get a chance. And Zelm thanks everybody for blowing up his messages. And I'm getting told off.
Alright, last question. Being a part of RSC this year, how do you feel about RSC Camp and the kids community as a whole? Since a lot of people tend to look down on the kids community, has this camp and being part of it changed how you see things? And do you plan on being a part of RSC again? Well, like I kind of explained a little earlier, I am really actually proud to be here. I feel great about being here and about RSC in general. You know, I said this in the opening. You know, when I initially learned about RSC and folks were telling me about it, you know, I definitely saw the tremendous value it has for the community. And you know, I wanted to do everything I could to support it as soon as I heard of it. You know, and when I hear of these things in general, I just, you know, tend to jump in and want to go all out and say, what do you need to make this successful and as big as it can be in your needs and stuff like that. You know, I learned that you all typically use a region, stuff like that to do this, and I was like, well, what more can you do? And if I gave you more, what could, you know, be done? And you have this wonderful 3-region space that was put together by a lot of very hard work from very dedicated people, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I love seeing what's been going on here and everything that's been happening. And again, for me, I did not have an opinion to change, because my opinion has always been that you know, the kid community is a community in Second Life that is good and based on good principle, and I never see, you know, anything ill coming from the community itself that, you know, is a concern. So here, I don't know if you have anything else to say about any of that, but that's pretty much me.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I mean, I've never thought that the kid community was, you know, a bad thing to have around. I've always, you know, I've spent a lot of time, and my alt has spent a lot of time with Marianne McCann, which I know. So it's not, you know, it's not an unusual community to me. It's just that's part of Second Life. It's one of our communities, and it's a community that we definitely want to support when we can. So I'm glad y'all invited me here. Happy to be here, and would definitely do it.
Yeah. To like the last part of that question, I would absolutely do this again. So I hope to see you all next year.
Yay!